Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313, back with another episode. Hot news, and I'm gonna call this hot news because I think this is actually hot news, and it's gonna have some implications to what the future looks like for the Detroit Lions. But before we get going, please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget that bell icon so you don't miss our content moving forward. Hey, it costs you nothing. But Steve, what the heck is going on for the Detroit Lions?
Hot news. I call this breaking, earth-shattering. This is a needle move. Okay, this moves the needle for me. The Detroit Lions signing Jamal Adams to their practice squad. I assume he will be elevated. This is per Brad Galley. I'm not a huge fan of Brad Galley, but Lions are signing three-time Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams. William, if you're walking around town, do you see Pro Bowl safeties just growing on trees that you can just spring up and pop and sign right to your team right away on an 11-1 football team?
If I'm walking around Detroit, yeah.
Like,
if I'm walking around Detroit, I'm gonna tell you this. I absolutely do see that. I see Brian Branch, I see Kirby Joseph, and don't sleep on Ife Melifonwu when he comes back healthy. So, hey, I might see three of them roaming around Detroit at any given time. But any other given city, probably not.
I'm not talking current team. I'm talking like, hey, these guys are available. Like three-time Pro Bowl safeties are hard to find. Now, we just signed Quan Alexander the other day. That's a former Pro Bowl linebacker. Now you sign Jamal Adams, who at one time, not too long ago, not in the very long ago past, was considered one of the best safeties in the NFL. Okay,
yeah.
So what are we getting with Jamal Adams here? Now, I sent you a screenshot of the same thing you just posted for everyone, and underneath that picture was a very interesting question: can he play linebacker? That really got my wheel spinning. Well, so how do you feel about Jamal Adams?
Yeah, you kind of led him into where I was going to go with that. But listen, here's the deal. What goes first as an NFL football player and just as an athlete in general? Your speed, your quickness, your reaction time, your reflexes. That's the thing that goes first. So when you were a guy that was twitchy and played a position that requires you to be a little bit more twitchy, I think there's always that possibility that you can dwindle down to another position where you don't have to be as twitchy. So he's a veteran, three-time Pro Bowler. He's a guy that has been known for playing the safety position with a level of physicality. That's how he plays the game. He wants to get nasty. He likes to play in the box. He likes to be in the trenches. So I think that's what you're getting in this guy. Now, let's be honest. This season so far hasn't played a lot of football, right? I think I'm looking at 4 tackles on the season and was released by the Tennessee Titans and I'll put this in here because I know that's going to be the question for you guys. So we try to stay ahead of you guys. Why is he available? If you look down here, it says that he requested to be released, right? So this is why he was released by the Tennessee Titans per his request. Haven't dug into why he asked to be released, but that was under his own volition that he left the Tennessee Titans. Now, but 2023, it's not his normal stats. 48 tackles. He was injured in 2022. So he hasn't been on the field playing that Pro Bowl caliber football in recent years. But if you're going to ask me this, Steve, can he play the linebacker position? I think he's not going to be asked to play the linebacker position per se, but what Aaron Glenn likes to do, if you watch the film over the years, he will put a DB in the box. I seen Cam Sutton play in the box. He will put a safety in the box. Ife Melifonwu was in the box oftentimes. Deshaun Elliott was in the they've been in the box oftentimes. So that's what this is. This is a plug and play Aaron Glenn style player that will fit exactly what he likes to do. He likes hybrid football players that can do multiple things. Can he go play some coverage on the back end still? I'm sure he can, but does he still have enough in the tank to play in the box? I think it's without a doubt 100%, and that is why this really excites me. Yeah, linebacker for sure in the box.
Don't know what's going on with Ife Melifonwu. Tracy Walker, I think, is the greatest comparison we could probably have for him. Hybrid safety / linebacker, that's what he's going to be doing. All right, this dude's going to stop the run. I actually think not only is he solid, very, very, very solid in the run game, I like when Jamal Adams blitzes too. Like he's got enough speed to get to the quarterback as well. And that's kind of something we saw Ife Melifonwu doing last year. I think he had a game where he pretty much stole Russell Wilson's lunch when we played the Broncos last year on like a Saturday night or something weird like that. I think Ife Melifonwu was the game wrecker of that game. I think Jamal Adams can do all the things that both of these safeties we're talking about can do at a Pro Bowl caliber level. How much does he have in the tank? I don't know, but this is such a low risk, very, very, very high reward. So I'm going to put that graphic up one more time because you said something, Will, that we like to get ahead of people. The Tennessee Titans released Adams in October, honoring his request. So let me ask you a question. We're going to get it in the comments, so we'll just try to get ahead of it. Why did he want to be released from the Tennessee Titans? Well, he's a winner, man. This dude wants to win. Tennessee Titans, we saw him come to Detroit a few weeks ago. We dog walked him. Okay, it wasn't even a game. It was an absolute ass whooping. Looking at the score right now, as it sits, they're losing 28-0 to the Washington Commanders. Like, Tennessee's not a good football team. Why would he want out of there? To win. Why is Detroit a good fit for him? Because I don't want to say we don't need him because of all our injuries, but if it doesn't work out, cut him a check, bon voyage, enjoy your travels. But I think that he could really be a solid difference maker. We don't jump on here and talk news about every little signing, but we've been making some really good sneaky signings these last maybe 2 weeks, you'd say, with all these injuries. And I would say that Jamal Adams is at the top of the list. Like, this is one of the best signings that we could possibly hope for with the scenario that we're in right now.
Okay. Jonah Williams. However, he's not a huge move the needle guy. He's a guy who's won a Super Bowl and played alongside guys like Aaron Donald. That's a W. Von Miller. That's a W. Thank you. David Long. He's a guy that Terrell Williams knows well. He's a guy that plays the game super aggressive with a high level of speed. That's a W move, just signing these guys out the practice squads. Quan Alexander, another one. He's going to have you hitting the Quan in a couple of weeks because he's going to be getting sacks, forced fumbles, and interceptions.
I have been working on it. Hey, I'm not going to
lie. Yeah, he's going to be bringing entertainment to Detroit N313. Pumped about that. So yeah, they are. You hit it on the head. We are making sneaky, nasty, push the needle type moves with very, very, very low risk and very, very, very high reward. This is another one. I think that you may have disrespected him, comparing him to a guy like Tracy Walker, because Tracy Walker is here and Jamal Adams is probably still here on my book. I would compare him more to Jamal Adams because he's going to come in and do Jamal Adams things in that box. I can't wait to see him not only doing Jamal Adams things from the linebacker position, and I put the quote up there because he's not going to be playing linebacker. Aaron Glenn puts all types of DBs inside of the box. Brian Branch plays inside the box. So for you guys that are worried about can he play linebacker, the Detroit Lions are a positionless football defense. The real question is, can he play in the box? And if you watch film on him, the answer is absolutely yes. I'm sorry. I'm getting so excited about it because I'm pumped up about this move. This is going to be a really good move, even if he doesn't have anything in the tank. And here's the last thing. I say even if he doesn't have anything in the tank, because the way that he plays the game of football, he's going to be able to mentor a guy like Ife Melifonwu because they have very similar games. If he plays in a box, if he is a guy that offers something, he started as a defensive back so he can cover slot receivers, outside receivers, tight ends, running backs. Jamal Adams offers all of those things. Ife Melifonwu is a phenomenal blitzer. So is Jamal Adams. He is going to push the needle for a young guy like Ife Melifonwu. This is a no-brainer, lights out, phenomenal move. I'm excited about it. And when we get off of here, I'm going to go have a drink.
This would have been a fantastic signing or trade at the beginning of the year before the season even started. So for us to get him while the team's 11-1, going into some big games coming up with the Packers, Bills, 49ers, Bears, like we're getting into the meat of the schedule here with down the home stretch. I would have been thrilled with the signing in training camp. We're getting them at a perfect time. You're looking at a safety room. I mean, I know safeties don't have their own room. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Ife Melifonwu, Jamal Adams. Find me 4 better safeties in the league. Throw in some more DBs. Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, who's been playing some damn good football later. Amik Robertson, who's playing some damn good football. Hopefully, Ennis Rakestraw can get healthy. It's a no-brainer now. I think Jamal Adams just put this safety room in this defensive backfield as elite. Like that, I think we're in the title of eliteness now.
It's gonna be scary when we start adding Alex Anzalone, like you said. When we start adding our pieces back to this thing, It's
Pascal,
gonna
Enrique,
yeah,
like the front
it's
seven, just
gonna
good
be
luck.
scary. It's gonna be scary. Listen, what we're doing is buying time for guys to get healthy. Now, if he doesn't have to try to rush back to play inside of the box, he can deal with whatever new injury that he has going on. Guys like E-Man, we don't have to rush him out there because we know that he's got a little something going on that popped up at pregame. We can literally let guys come back organically when it's time and their bodies are ready. Man, the Detroit Lions are impressing me on a level that I didn't even think was possible, because I already thought Brad Holmes was the best GM in football. Now he's signing Pro Bowlers from Costco. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in Detroit right now, Steve.
Let me give you an analogy, William.
Talk to me.
When you're making a cake, you don't want
Yeah.
just the flour. You don't want
No.
just the sugar. You don't want just the frosting. You don't want just the breading. But when you take a David Long, a Jonah Williams, a Jamal Adams, a Quan Alexander, you take all those ingredients, just like a cake, and you put it together. That's when it becomes something. Like if you take each one of those things and you break it down individually, not fantastic. It's not great. But when you just add essentially 4 Pro Bowls in Quan Alexander and Jamal Adams, and then you add a pass rusher who's not great, not elite, not scary, in Jonah Williams,
Super
David
Bowl.
Long. Yeah, when you add a David Long who was a captain for the Miami Dolphins that they let go, you take all of those ingredients and you put them all together. Now you've made some really, really good complementary moves. That's how I feel about not just one of these pieces, but all of them. It's just you're putting it all together.
You're dead on. I got
And now
nothing.
you want some chocolate cake, don't you?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. What I want is Thursday to get here immediately. A lot of the things that I was panicking about, not panicking, but I was like a little bit, my blood pressure was a little bit up about. I'm here. I'm just easy breezy, like Sunday afternoon, I should say.
Easy like a Sunday morning. What do you think? Hey, that's a voice of an angel right there. What are you talking about? I might just get a record deal out of this.
Don't sign them, guys. We need them at Detroit in 313.
Final question on a scale. Grade this signing, and if you want
10,
to
27, 100. Like, don't even need to get it out. I'm
what kind
pumped
of
about it.
grades did you got? Numbered
Yeah.
grades in high school?
Hey, listen. Hey, A plus. Extra credit was turned in. Like everything. This dude gave me an apple the first day of class. Like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think
Where you
Jamal
at with it?
Adams. I'm an A plus, and I'm going to put all of the 4 factors that I just gave you guys, the last 4 signings, and put a cherry on top of it. And that cherry is named Jamal Adams. I think this is phenomenal. I think he's going to fit the Detroit culture. I know he's got a little bit of a reputation as a diva. Trust me, I remember a lot. I watch a lot of football. I remember him being on the cart, getting carted off the field, and flipping off the sidelines for the Seattle Seahawks when he wanted a deal. I understand that that's kind of the mentality that comes with it, but at the end of the day, I think that this is very low risk. The reward is not even to the ceiling. It's past the ceiling. It's in a new stratosphere. That's how good of a signing I think this is. And we just talked yesterday. We don't come on here and bullshit you. If we weren't excited about it, we would tell you we weren't excited about it. So A+ for me, A+ from Will. Leave some comments, hit that like button, stick around. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.